and we were able to take a good look at it and make some adjustments, work on some things today in practice that we feel like we can get better at. So yeah, I thought we've kind of established a pretty good foundation in that game of a style of play, and I think it's with our team just keep trying to get better each day with it.
Sounds good, Coach. And then we wanted to talk, have you on a little bit to talk about your time with Lauren Jackson. Obviously, she's will be one of the members of the class of 2021 in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame this year. And just wanted to get your thoughts real quick on your time with her and her overall as a person.
Yeah, we drafted her way back when I was with Lynn Dunn here, and you know, she was hands down the best player in the world coming out that year. So I remember a lot of teams were trying to put together these unbelievable trade packages to get that pick, but Coach Dunn held strong and got her to Seattle, and you know, the rest is history. She was just you know, even as a young player, and I just coached her that 1 year early on. She was just impactful. You know, she was a kind of, you know, in a way ahead of her time. She was similar to what Stewie could do. You know, back then you didn't have big that could handle the ball, shoot from outside, do everything that she did, you know. And so she was just you know, what a tremendous talent. And you know, she had that drive and tenacity and just the will to win that separated her, I think, throughout her career.
Great. Let's go ahead and open it up for questions. As a reminder, if you have a question for Coach Klopp, go ahead and hit that hand raise button. We'll start with Percy Allen. Percy, go ahead.
Awesome. You know, I don't know if I recognize this guy on my screen here. Kloppenberg? How do you spell that?
Yeah, long time no see.
Hey, Coach, I'm trying to do something on Stephanie Talbot. And if has she been the surprise of training camp? And if you could just sort of, you know, just tell me maybe your thoughts when she came in, maybe your expectations of kind of what you had of her, and then has she met or exceeded those?
Yeah, you know, and we knew Stephanie from her time in Phoenix, and that she was, you know, she started quite several games for them the year before last, and was a, you know, very good player at that 3 spot. But you know, she didn't play last year, so we really didn't know, you know, coming in how that would be, you know, how she would fit and what that would look like. But I think everybody's been really happy with her progress. She just came in, she plays so hard. She's, you know, she's more athletic than we thought, and very skilled. She defends hard, she rebounds, just smart. She's picked up everything we're doing. So we're really, really happy. It was a great, you know, a great pickup for us to get her.
If like you could provide just a bit of a scouting report on her, just maybe her strengths and weaknesses. It like seems that she gives you a lot of that two-way deal that AC kind of gave you.
I mean, similar, you know, she's got a lot of, you know, she's got a lot of bounce in her step. I mean, she's pretty athletic. She can run the floor. You know, she can get to the rim. Really good excellent 3-point shooter. You know, she can stop on the fast break, knock down a 3, and she rebounds. She's a very good rebounder at both ends of the floor. So, and I think, you know, what I've seen with her defensively is she's really picking up what we're doing. She's a pretty good on-ball defender. She's a very good help defender, knows what we're doing with all of our trapping schemes. So I think she's just going to get, as she gains more confidence, I just think she's going to really have an excellent year for us.
Hey, and I'm not trying to paint you in a corner with this question here, but do you have an idea of her future when Piff and Sadie's return?
I mean, I think they're supposed to. They're back here because we saw them today, and I think they're going through their protocols. So the way I understood it, they're supposed to be back on board this week. Not tomorrow night, but those following games. So from what I understand, they're gonna be able to go with us and be ready to play it, is the way I understood it. So, but everything is a fluid situation in a modern world, so don't hold me to that.
Yeah, so then and with their return, what for Stephanie?
Can you repeat that, Percy?
Sure. So with the return of Sadie's and Piff, do you have an idea as to what the future holds for Stephanie? Because obviously you guys will have to do something with the roster.
Yeah, and I think, I think that's a fluid situation because I think with Katie Lou Samuelson, she's leaving also, to go on for the 3-on-3 thing, 3-on-3. So I think we have a reprieve as far as getting down to 12 for a little while anyway. So I mean, I think that's the situation as far as our trying to get down to 12 players.
I see. All right, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, Percy.
Thanks,
and-
Percy.
I'm sorry. Is that KLO?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man.
Thanks, Percy. Jeff Brown, go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you again.
Hey, what's going on?
So yeah, I was actually just about to kind of ask about that because I know I read recently where Kelsey Plum, who's also going to be in the 3x3, she was leaving Vegas after this next game and was going to be gone, I believe, 6 games. So is that going to be basically the same for Katie Lou Samuelson?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they're all going over to Austria, and I'm not sure how many games she's missing. Honestly, it might be something like that. Yeah, because they're over there, trying to qualify for the Olympics. So it's probably several games. Yeah.
Okay. And then with the way it kind of worked out in the last game on Saturday, I know you guys had Ezzy start the second half, and obviously Vegas really kind of got after you in the first quarter. Could there be likely a change to see maybe Ezzy start in this next game?
Yeah, we've been trying to see what those kind of adjustments we want to make, and that's definitely a possibility. Just because of the matchups. I mean, those are just difficult matchups. So yeah, I think we're talking about doing that and trying to make some adjustments to get some more size on the Cam Bay.
And then just talk about Ezzy's performance in that game, because it seemed obviously she had the game high, I think, plus it was like 25 or something as far as a plus minus, and she seemed to really kind of have an impact on both ends of the court.
Yeah, she did. I mean, it was unbelievable. Really diminished, so efficient out there, and I think she's a difficult matchup for other teams too because she's quick. She rolls down into the paint really hard, and she can put it on the floor and go by a lot of the bigs that are going to be guarding her. She's been rebounding really well, and then I thought she did an excellent job on Cam Bay, trying to front her and just get her off her spot. I mean, she knows Cam Bay, she's played against her, so that's definitely an advantage as well. But yeah, I mean, I think Ezzy, she stepped out, hit a 3. I mean, I think she's put a lot of time in getting better in the off season, and you can see it already, in this early part of the season.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Jeff. Masvita, go ahead, Masvita.
Absolutely. Hey, Coach, just what can you expect from defensively, I guess offensively as well, but from game 1 to game 2, and then just playing the same teams so close early on in the season? What are you looking for?
I mean, it's kind of like a series, how you would make adjustments in a series off of your first game. So some of the areas that, that we may have got hurt, we tried to clean up and, have some different looks or options that we need to go to try to take a few things away. So, it's kind of a back and forth. You try to make adjustments, get better at some of the things you want to do, especially against a team Las Vegas. It's such a powerful team, that you have to really be good in your low post defense, your help defense coming down on those guys, and then try to keep them off the foul line as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Masvidal. Did we have any other questions before we let Coach Klopp go? All right, seeing none, we'll let you go, Coach. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
And
you,
we
guys.
will now switch over to Ezzy Magbador is here. Ezzy, welcome and thank you for joining us. If you have a question for Ezzy, go ahead and raise your hand here. We'll get to you as we have time. Percy, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Awesome. Hey, Ezzy, you've kind of talked about this before, but can like you sort of maybe go into, just the Australia to Seattle pipeline? This idea that now that you're a part of it, and like I've been with this team now for 2 years, when you sort of came up in Australia, did you know of this sort of pipeline, that was happening? And now that you're in it, can you appreciate it more, like all of the players? Like I can sort of go down the list, but it is an impressive list of players.
Yeah, I think like obviously in the last few years, obviously I knew, I guess like more about the WNBA and more about Seattle, and obviously with having, Lauren Jackson play, Jenna O'Hea, Abby Bishop, and I've been lucky enough to play with some of those players as well. But I think like you said, now that I'm actually here, I definitely have a bigger appreciation for it. Just I've heard so many great things about the fans, and we were able to have them at a game the other day. So yeah, I'm definitely grateful to be a part of Seattle. And yeah, I've got Steph Talbot here with me as well. Played with Sammy last year as well. So yeah, it's nice to have, a few Australians play for Seattle, because it feels a little bit like home as well.
Great. And then, just for those of us in the States here who maybe aren't familiar with Steph Talbot, or just kind of the things she did in Australia. I was kind of looking at what she did this past season there, to be the MVP and the defensive MVP there. Just can you sort of give a scouting report on her?
Yeah, Steph, she's a great player. I played one season with her in Australia, and she's obviously a part of the national team as well. But she's a shooter, so she's a 3-point shooter. I think she's, she had a great shooting night the other night as well. But yeah, she's like a slasher. She can, take the ball, to the rim. She's just a really aggressive player, and I think she's just a great asset to have on our team. And yeah, like you said, she won the MVP in the Australian League. But yeah, Steph works hard. She's a hard worker, and I think that was pretty evident at training camp. And yeah, just really happy to have her on the team.
Awesome, Ezzy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Percy. Holly Rowe, go ahead, Holly.
Hey, Ezzy, I was curious about when you started playing against or with Liz Cambage, how much experience you have, because you had some nice defensive moments against her.
I think the first time I played against Liz was 2017. So I played for the Canberra Capitals in the WNBL in Australia, and she played for the Melbourne Boomers. So yeah, going up against her was, it was tough. I was young. She was just a great presence in the league. So I've had like a few years of experience, and obviously playing with her in the national team, we go up against each other when we do have camps and tournaments like every day at practice. So I think it's been good to kind of have that experience. So coming into Saturday's game and tomorrow's game, I have that familiarity with Liz as a player.
And then in the WNBL this season, you were not on the same team with her, so you competed against her recently in that as well, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So there's 2 teams in Melbourne, in Australia, and she was on the other Melbourne team. So I played for the Boomers, she played for Southside. So yeah, definitely had recent experience playing against her. But yeah, she's a great player, so it's always nice to, come up against her as well.
And then my last one is just, what did you do either during your WNBL season or between then and now that you were trying to develop some specific things you were working on?
I think definitely just my perimeter game, so 3-point shooting. I think that's been something that have been working on in the last few years. So just putting a real emphasis on that, just being able to play off the perimeter as well. So just, I think just using my, athleticism and speed and developing that when I do come up against, players that are taller, that are bigger than me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Thanks, Holly. Raymond, why don't you go ahead, Raymond?
Hey, Ezzy, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Just wanted to ask, in the off season there was, some transition in player movement with Seattle, and to see a player like Natasha Howard leave the team, I feel like that was a clear sign that your role would be expanding. Just kind of, how did you mentally prepare for that, and how are you going about it this season?
Yeah, I think, we did obviously lose Tash, but we, gained Candice as well. So I think, just kind of having the same mentality as last season, just when I do get on the floor, just bringing, what I can to the game and just helping my team in any way possible. But obviously, Tash she's a great defensive presence, a great scorer for the team. So hopefully I'll, find ways to kind of, fill that hole in losing her.
All right. And also got to ask, what's going to be your go-to hoop and shoe this season?
Go-to hooping shoe. Well, at the moment it's the Cosmic Unities, but I've, worn LeBrons in the past. So I'll probably bring those back in a few weeks.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Raymond. Masvita, go ahead.
Yeah, Izzy, I think you were on the call when I asked the coach, but just what are you all looking for in terms of the progression, improvement from game 1 to game 2 against obviously a tough opponent that you just finished playing?
I think just finding that chemistry on the floor and just continuing to grow that. I think, we are kind of a new team. So just trying to know each other's tendencies is something that, we try to do, get better at every day. But obviously playing Vegas, they're a great team. So I think just, not taking a step back, just hitting them, I guess, harder than we did in the first game. And just focusing on, the things that we're good at. So just playing fast pace, running the floor, being a huge presence on defense as well. So just focusing on the things that we're good at.
And does it help when you've got a team, while there's some new parts, but just the intelligence and everybody, a collective group of players that know how to play basketball? Does that help in the chemistry and also the execution process?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we've obviously got Sue on our team and she's a great leader. Just, whether it's at practice or at game, she's always talking to us and always helping, I guess, to build that chemistry. So I think that's really important. But yeah, I think just having, obviously Stewie, Jewel, just having that core group together is definitely helping, I guess, the newer players gel and just, build that chemistry on the team as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Masvita. Jeff, go ahead.
Hey, Izzy. How would you describe your relationship with Liz Cambage? Like, would you look at it as like, has she been a mentor to you at all, or just like friends, or like just colleagues on the court or anything like that?
Yeah, obviously Liz is a friend. She's, we've had like a lot of experience together on the national team, playing against her as well. And I think my first Opals camp, she definitely, guided me through that a little bit. So she's obviously, a post player. So she's really good with that, just kind of taking, post players under their wing and I guess telling you what to do and, making you a better player as well. So I think just with the Australian culture, we're always, going to get along. And when we are in America, there's quite a few of us here. So just, I guess, bringing that sisterhood over here has helped as well. So yeah, she's a great friend, a great teammate.
Awesome. And then Lauren Jackson got inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame here. Have you had a chance to reach out to Lauren or anything yet?
No, not yet, but I will definitely do that. But yeah, that's just amazing for Australian basketball. And I think she's, definitely someone that deserves that. So it's great to have her recognized. And yeah, it's exciting to have that happen.
Awesome. Thank you, Ezzy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Ezzy, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time. And good luck tomorrow against the Aces again. We'll now bring in Stephanie Talbot here. And Steph, you can hear us okay? All ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Go ahead. If you have a question for Stephanie, go ahead and raise your hand there. We'll get to you as we can. Let's start with Percy. Percy, go ahead and start us out, Percy.
Awesome. Hey, Stephanie, I'm like curious on just what were your thoughts when like you heard about the trade to the Storm?
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited, to be honest. I think I was at New York. I hadn't played there before, but I mean, looking from the outside, they had a lot of guards. It was going to be a tough spot for me to be in, but Seattle, you know, with Alicia Clark leaving, there was kind of an opportunity open up for me to kind of earn a spot and earn some court time. So I think it was an exciting trade for me.
Hey, and then just for you, like just this past year, so you did not play in the WNBA in 2020. So your like reasons for not playing, were they just, can you sort of tell us what that was about?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit complicated. I chose not to come. My contract got suspended. Kind of a mutual agreement with New York at the time. I kind of wished I didn't do that. I wished that I pursued a different team and got to play, but in the end, it was probably a good thing for me. I spent the time back home working on my game. I got a lot fitter, a lot stronger. I think it was better off for me anyway in the long run, but yeah.
And then obviously that was the like setup for you to have this amazing historic season back in Australia there. Just if you could sort of talk a bit about just how did that season go for you? I mean, I didn't see it, but I'm just sort of looking at it and reading it, the like numbers and the achievements that you did there. Just how did that season play out for you?
Yeah, I think personally, I had a great season. I won a lot of personal awards. I really took my game to the next level. I think having that half a season off last year to get myself fitter and stronger and work on my game really helped me just take my game to the next level. And then the team I was in, the coaching staff I had really enabled me to just play my game freely.
And then just as sort of the last thing for me here, just is this fit here? You know, is it like I remember you with Phoenix, and like that seemed to be a really good fit for you. I'm kind of not sure why that trade sort of happened there, but is this fit like you're thinking like a really nice fit for you?
Yeah, I think I've only been here for 3 weeks, but I'm loving it here. I love the way they play. They like to run. They like to play up tempo. They're a defensive team. I think that suits me to a T. I like to get out and run. I like to use my athleticism, and I'm really enjoying playing with the girls here. So I hope it's only been one game, but I hope it'll be a really good fit for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Percy. Holly Rowe, go ahead, Holly.
Hey, Stephanie, I was curious when you say you worked on your game to get fitter and stronger. Can you give me some specific examples of what you were working on daily while you were in Australia before the WNBL season?
Yeah, I think obviously in the gym, I was working on strength and conditioning. I think I really took that to another level, but on the court, I think just being more versatile. I think obviously my shot, I'm known as a shooter over here, but working on my ball skills and being able to get to the rim so I can play, you know, the 2 spot if I need, and I can play the 4. So I think just like adding more aspects to my game.
And what were some things you did from a strength standpoint? What gains did you make, and what were some specific things you did?
I think I changed my training a little bit. I did a lot more up tempo, a lot more HIIT workout stuff, a lot more cardio in that aspect, and it really enabled me to lean up, lose a little bit of weight, which has made me a little bit faster and a little bit fitter.
Great. And then did you play with Ezzy on the Boomers, or how have you and Ezzy overlapped playing wise where you have some good chemistry together?
Yeah, I did. I played 1 year with Ezzy on the Boomers team. That was back in probably like 3 years ago now. But yeah, we have good chemistry from the national team. I think all of our Opals players, we really get good chemistry from playing in that national team together.
And what will your Olympic preparation and break be like? Like, what time will you miss with Seattle for the Opals this year?
Yeah, our Opals team will get named in about a week. So hoping I make that team. I think the plan is that the rest of the team will come over to Vegas on at the beginning of August, and Sandy's hoping to get all of us in there on the 6th, which at this stage would mean me and Ezzy missed 3 games. So that's kind of something we have to work out with the national team and with the coaches here in Seattle.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
No worries.
Thanks, Ollie. Jeff Brown, go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Stephanie. So obviously, were you nervous before the final roster decisions were made? And then, like, what was that feeling when you found that you made the team?
Yeah, I think about a week before the final rosters were due, I was really nervous. We had a lot of good players here. But in that final week, I had a really good week on the training floor. My second scrimmage was pretty good. So I was pretty confident in the fact that I'd put my best foot forward, and if they chose not to pick me, I was at least happy that I put my best foot forward. But yeah, I was definitely super excited to find out I made the final roster. Like I said, I'm super excited to play with this team. So yeah, happy to be here.
Awesome. And then I thought you looked like really, really confident in game 1 against Las Vegas, taking threes quickly, right off the catch and stuff. And do you think that your past season in the WNBL, where you won the MVP, did that build a lot of confidence for you?
Yeah, I think having the season I had definitely helped me build my confidence, and I was confident coming in here knowing that I'm playing well at the moment. But I think, the coaches and my teammates here also are very encouraging. They encourage me to take my shots and play my game, which also helps.
And I know the coaches, especially Dan Hughes has been talking about how I feel like you've really impressed him in training camp and stuff so far. I guess just what are the things that maybe he's said to you?
I think he just likes the way I read the game, likes the way I move. I run the floor, which opens it up for the other players. I can rebound as a guard. I think just like the little things like that. Obviously, we've got some star players in this team that are going to do their thing. But if I can do that, help open up the court, take my shots when they're there, I think it'll really help.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Any other questions for Stephanie before we let her go today? All right, thanks, Steph. We appreciate you joining us. We wish you the best of luck tomorrow against Vegas again. And thank you, everybody, for joining our media availability today. We'll have a shoot-around media availability tomorrow at 12:30, and the rest of the schedule has come out to your emails. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day.